So we are live. A little late, but it's fine, I guess. Okay, shall we begin? Let's go. We have one discussion open. I opened this discussion earlier today just to get some more feedbacks. So we got a really good some pretty good suggestions actually, and this one is already have in mind. It's not a big deal. But there is one thing, which is this one. This feature is kind of necessary, I guess. Yeah. Currently, we can hide directories related to dot files, but it will be a good thing to add those ignore patterns, like hide patterns for a particular directory name, something like that. We have something similar in NeoTree. If we search for this, if we search for setup init, maybe let's go readme, and in readme we have hidden items. Filter, I believe I saw them. Filters, okay, these are filtered items. When true, they will be displayed differently than normal items. So filtered item, yeah, these are some configurations related to filtered item, like how they should visible, like hide dot files, hide get ignored, hide files that are ignored by other get ignored, like files, other get ignored, files, descendant, other precedents. A little complex, but we can do it. I'm not going to implement all of the things like this because it feels like it's too repetitive. Then you have ignore files, a NeoTree ignore, and we have a dot ignore. These are some file specific, I guess. Makes sense. Then you have hide hidden only works on Windows or hidden files directory. Hidden by name. We have hidden by name, we have hidden by pattern. Okay, these are some cool things. So if I go to configuration, and currently we have switches, and one of the switches is dot files. These are hidden items. I could provide a function like we have in fyler.nvim, like if you go to fyler.nvim and come on, and let's go to here, and we definitely have a hidden file. So this thing is a hidden file function which helps the plugin to determine which file system tree to hide, visually hide. And there is another function which is always hidden, which means that thing will always going to hide, no matter like that thing won't be toggleable as well. Entries hidden by this function must be toggleable with the g dot as specified in this line. Highlight customize the highlight group for a file name. Wow, that's something. Can we do the same thing? Like we have hidden items. Can we generalize things? Because these things look so repetitive. Here we have, you can see there are so many options to hide with, like never show by parent, never show, like we have always show, we have never, and we have toggleable fields like starts with a hide prefix, which are a little bit of confusing in my opinion. Okay, then I guess we can do something like hide dot files equals to something like this. Hide dot files, then we have hide git ignode, then we have hide a hide trunk, which will be just a path which returns a boolean, something like this. For now it's just a nil value, not a big deal. All right, I think after sorting, yeah. mean, I have an idea. Like, we can do one thing. Like, instead of all this thing, let's do hidden items, something like this. And hidden items contains the key value pair, and key value pair must be a field where you should define their patterns to hide. Hmm. So there must be some switches, and switches. Switch. There will be some predefined values, like predefined, similar to dot files, get ignored, and there are some other things as well. By the way, hello everyone who watching this live stream. So hidden items, like there must be a way to define some sandbox behavior for hidden or filtered items, in my opinion. And I wonder what it could be. Give me some time, just. It's a switch. A dot file. That doesn't make any sense. We have I pairs. So this is a string actually. So here we have switches, something like this, and with switches we have this, and furthermore, wait just a minute, I think I got a reply here. I mean, there are some suggestions. Let me just double check the suggestions. Alright, nothing new. So for switches, let me just open the configuration as well. And so we have switches. Currently we only have two switches, which is dot files and get ignored. And then we have a list of patterns that you should ignore. Yeah, that makes sense. So we have switch. So let me just take the output of split. If I split it by a comma separator, so what I get? Okay, nothing. So I will not get anything. So if hidden items dot switches, then we do this. Otherwise we don't have to do anything about something like that. And for each switch we have to toggle this thing. Yeah, we have to toggle properties. And for a dot file, like if wait just a minute, I think we need a hidden a validator. So hidden hidden funcs will be something like dot files, and a dot file will be a function which takes a path, which will take a path. And wait just a minute, we have it starts with a dot. Well, that's pretty lame. I didn't believe that, but okay, fine. So vim dot starts with we have okay, that's a base name. Okay, now that makes sense. So we have dot files, then we have get ignored, and for the get ignored, the function that function is not implemented yet, because for get we have to track a bunch of things, and currently we haven't set up the get integration here. So for now it's just the dot files. So let's go to configuration, and here let's just only mention the dot files for switches. And now well, this is good. Like if we have the hidden function, then and the function returns true, then we going to hide it. That makes sense. So the function must return true if you want to hide this thing. So what should we do then? Okay, we can just simply return true. There is not a problem here. And so switches are completed, I guess. No. We have to split it again. switch name, yeah, switch name and switch value, something like that. And we have switch.match, and we're going to match things out with things will either be true or false. That's the thing. Yeah, things will either be true or false. Then what should we do here? I think we should untag things because we can separate them by colon. So if we have if we're going to dash w and a colon, and the values will be either true or false. So will that work? Let me just check it real quick. String.match .files true and w then call corresponding function. Okay, I get it. Designed for lower pattern matching. However, it was invalid for extracting out true or false. Okay, so it should be defined as this. Question mark. dot files, true, and let's try this one. And yeah, this time it works. But what's the difference? Okay, so previously I left out this bracket. That makes sense. Then switch name switch value equals to switch match, like this pattern, and we have a switch and we have a pattern. So that function has to be true, the value has to be true. Switch value. Dir UI sub dot UI. Let's call it UI like this, and patterns will be dot iter item. Patterns, and let's map all of the patterns to something like let's return a pattern in which the toggleable field will be toggled, and we could return the pattern as is. And we can define some of the patterns here. Something like, let's say I want to disable mees.toggle, and that should be inside like this, and yes, you have to disable this thing. And let's try to do it. It's not disabled because we have to update this thing on the UI as well. So its switches are finished. Now it's time for patterns. Hidden items dot patterns. Then if we have patterns defined, switches, we always going to have switches, and same for pattern. Like if I go and restart, switch is always defined no matter what. Instead, I think I should do something like this, and that has to be at least 1 2 3 4 true, 4 5 6, at least 6. So let's count a true. So we have true here. These are 4 and this is 6. And it should be fine. And for patterns, at least one pattern must be there. Greater than equals to 1. The pattern must be, at least one pattern must be there. So for each pattern, we just have to match this thing. For each pattern of 1, that's it. And pattern of 2 as well. That pattern must be enabled as well. So if I go, that is an interesting thing. What should I do then? So we have, let's debug this thing of pattern and the path itself, item.path. some reason this is not outputting this. So me.toml has to be true. But for some reason this thing doesn't output anything. Like we are not reaching here as well. This thing feels like a dead code. Yeah, there are no messages here. But why? Which is name and or email. Is.toml equals to true. Now it's working. So me.toml is now gone, and now I can toggle it by this thing, and yeah. Let's also include Docker file for now, just to test things. Let's do this Docker file. Let's see. Yeah, Docker file is also gone. Oh, wait just a minute. I did the wrong thing here. Let's go to ui.lua and let's restart this one. And there is no Docker file. But now it's here. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we have release.sh. What if I disable every Lua file? Can we do that? Let's try to do this. Let's remove any here and try to do start off Lua. Let's see if that works. Okay, so far so good. No, still not working. I mean, we should be disabling all the Lua files, but it's not working. Okay, time to debug things out. Why this is not working? So we have a item.path and we have a pattern at index1. Well, let's try this thing. Okay, these things are reasonable, like why this thing is not disabled. But let's do this and why this one? I don't know. Path, no. the pattern 1 1 like this. Let's see what we got. Let's clear the messages and let's go here, and here we are. So almost we got nil for everything. But why? Like, it has to be true. So let's take this path. Okay, I think my pattern is not correct. Let's do this, and if I go star this, so this has to be it. And yeah, it is working. Yeah, it's working. There is nothing here. And I toggle it with G dot. Yeah, every Lua file is gone now. Actually, that makes sense. If I do this, what will end up going to happen? Let's go this, and let's try to do that. Yeah, every Lua file is gone. Fine. So patterns are working. Patterns are working. I have to disable one thing, which is not NeoGet. It's dsstore, dsstore and thumb.db. These are one of the things that I want to delete, like hide. So if I do exact pattern matching, like .ps store, and this is the exact pattern matching. Let's see if that works or not. Let's restart it, and let's create a file called ps store, and if I do ls ls-a, yeah, that file is there. Let's open it, and it is disabled, I believe so. If I do this, yeah, that's a b and dot file, so let's rename this thing. Move.bs to just ds like this, and here it is. This is the ds store. Let's restart, and there you have it. We have a ds store file. The problem is why we don't have any icon for this. Set conceal to 0. Yeah, we don't have any icons for this. Okay, we can resolve it later, but first I have to do a exact pattern matching, and that ds store thing is not hiding at all. Now it's working. Okay. Those pattern matching are enough to hide and toggle anything. Okay, so let's remove ds store. Not now. We have to resolve why there is no icon for this. I believe that we always have an icon for every single one of them. So if it is a directory, icon text is equals to icon text so icon text default directory icon, not default file icon. Let's try this. So there is no default file icon, I guess. But I guess okay, so we don't have any file icon for this. So there is one suggestion. It's the column view in Yazi or NNN2E file managers. It allows you to open multiple columns as you traverse into subdirectories. Okay, that is out of the topic. Out of the scope of file. Like this is too much to handle. Now there is one thing. Okay, so icon text, icon highlight. If icon text, or it could be a file, and that file will be nvim web dev icons. We will have a default icon defaults.lua, or it could be this, or maybe nvim.lua. Yeah, this is the file. This is the default file icon for nvim web icons, and here it is. So I think that should work. Yeah, now it's working. Fine. All of the icons are now handled properly. Okay, I think I should just commit this thing as separate one. Let's commit fix and then web dev icon, or you can say integration. Icons. Add fallback for non-supported or unsupported file. Something like this. And that's it. Yes. Let's remove this, and now it will be fine. Okay, so patterns are handled here, and everything is toggleable, which makes sense. I think we don't need to satisfy this function, we have to include it. Okay, fine. So we can add things like if I go into the configuration of fyler here, so we can define here something buffers, finder, UI, hidden items, patterns, and that will be another array which is ps store. This that should do it. Let's restart, and dsstore file is not visible, but it is here. This is the file. If I toggle things out, it won't be here anymore. Nice one. Okay, let's just remove this. Everything's working fine. Wait just a minute. Let me test one more thing, which is switches. Switches will be dot files, walls. Okay, it's fine. This one. It's fine. Let's commit this thing. Yeah, we have added switches, we have added patterns, and okay, these are some predefined functions, and this is kind of a refactoring. Here you can toggle switches. Switches, and we have patterns like this, and like that. It's much cleaner now. What's the problem? Oh, yeah. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, finally we added the switches and pattern, which are more than enough to define any specific patterns, and you can toggle them by g.mapping. So that's it, I guess. Let's commit this thing out. This is switches, this is predefined switches, and this is a configuration. Let's just make things, and now we have an updated documentation for this. Okay. Okay. There is one thing missing. Let's defined switches to hide. We don't need this. Only this. And in my opinion, it has to be name, or you can say it has to be a switch name. Let's do replace name with switch name like this. And that one's fine. And for patterns, yeah, this description is exactly what I need. Custom pattern for hidden items. Each pattern is a tuple of pattern is active. Is the pattern like this, and a boolean value. Something like this. Let's make, and now everything is documented. We added more hidden items options. Options for file system items. With predefined switches and raw pattern matching. That's one. Let's push this thing to refactor branch, and everything must be updated here, not here. Let's go blob refactor here, like this one. Blob refactor quality of life. If I go here, what will be the URL? Okay, it's tree. It's tree refactor, because blob is for reading the file. So there must be a configuration like this. Yeah, switches are there. Fine. Para.txt. Okay. So this feature is completed. So we can mark this thing completed, I guess, or we can just reply it. In the new pushed commit, I have added the pattern matching and predefined switches to hide file system items, which are also toggleable. Let's check them out. That's all. Let's say after feedback, if there are some new changes needs to be done, we will do that. Okay, so this is completed. Time to end up the stream.